Hi guys, it's Tina. Welcome back to my channel where I ask you to picture what financial freedom looks like to you and we talk about ways to get there. If you are new, please hit that subscribe button because I would love to grow this YouTube family. And if you're returning, thank you so much. Please like, comment, and share. You know, I'm very interested in what you have to say. Today, I want to speak about what to consider if your company asks you to move. This is a conversation that's happening in my household right now. I've been honest in the past about that there are location strategy going on at my work, discussions around what sites will we keep people at and what sites will we not keep people at, and that my husband and I have purposefully increased the size of our emergency funds because we knew that we were in a location that was in jeopardy. Well, as we suspected, we received notice that my husband's name was pulled forward as one that is required to relocate. So his position is being kept, but it is only being kept if we move to Minnesota again. And I'll be honest, we liked Minnesota. It wasn't a bad place to live, but we did leave it. And so there's a lot of discussion in our household right now over, would we go back? Do we want to go back? What would it look like if we went back? There's actually a number of questions we're trying to answer. And again, full disclosure, we've answered the majority of these questions. And I would say that we're at like 99.9% decided because there is still that little bit of uncertainty. And because we haven't communicated it back to our employer where we stand 100%, I'm not going to tell you what our decision is, but I will let you know these questions that I'm about to pose to you are the questions we asked ourselves to help us come to, an almost conclusion. Number one, how secure is your job or field? Do you have a position that you could easily find comparable work where you currently live? Would it be easy for you to find a telecommute, a work from home option? Would it be easy for you to really find a comparable position with comparable pay without having to relocate? Number two, are you a single income earner for your household? Does your entire household rely on your income? If you're not in a secure job field and if you are the only income earner, it might be more desirable for you to retain the position that you have. However, if you're not a single income household, what would this mean to your spouse's employer? Could your spouse take their job to the new location? Does your spouse earn more than you? Could it be a situation where your spouse could earn more money in the new location? Or is it something where your spouse is a business owner and all of the clients are local? You really need to consider who is the primary income earner in the household, and then whether or not you could live off of a singular income. If both of you are income earners, could you live off of the one spouse's income until another opportunity presented itself for the person who's being asked to move? Speaking about spouses, the next section of questions is really about family. Do you have children? How will your children be impacted? What are the schools like where you are now? What are the schools like where you would be going? What are the financial implications of changing schools? When we lived in Colorado, a lot of people went to private schools that they had to pay for. And a lot of the people that went to the public schools were surprised to find out that they had to pay fees. So even in public school, you had to pay money. Depending on what your child, their grade, and their curricular involvement, you had to pay anywhere from $100 to $600 a semester in fees. This could be an unaccounted for expense in your current budget. Are you divorced? Do you have children that live in the same state that you're in now and you're being asked to move out of state? What are the implications of that? Do you have court-appointed expenses? Do you have a legal matter that requires you to stay in the current state that you're in? How could that be affected by your business's, your employer's decision to ask you to move? Do you get state services? Do you have a child with special needs or a parent with special needs that the state you're currently living in helps supply for those needs? Do you have senior adults or adults that require your care and attention? Are you providing elder care? Do you have an adult child that is in an adult care program? What would be the implications of moving that person? Would the state that you're being asked to go to have supplemental support? Do you have extended family that you're very close to? How would that affect your children? I've mentioned in previous videos that I was a military brat, and I grew up without really knowing any of my cousins, any of my aunts and uncles. And then I look at my husband, who really lived in one place most of his life, and most of his childhood, I should say. And he had really close relationships with aunts and uncles and grandparents and cousins. And I want that for my children. I think that that's such a beautiful element of the extended family that I never got to fully enjoy when I was young. You then also have to look at some of the more practical questions about moving. Can you afford to live in the new place? What does the housing market look like? How long are the houses on the market? How long would it take you to sell your house? How long would it take you to find a new house? How much time is the employer giving you to relocate? Most places it's 3 to 6 months. In the past, my husband took a job and he had 3 months to relocate. That's part of what took us to Denver. If we took this position, he would have to give his decision by a certain date. We would have 6 months to move, which is pretty gracious, especially because they're giving us a chance to move over the summer months. If you have children, can you move in the middle of the school year? What would that mean for them? A lot of people don't want to move. It's difficult to sell a house during the school year because a lot of people for larger family homes don't want to uproot their own children and move during the school year. So it's a very loaded question, and it's not so easy as, yeah, I kind of like the way that sounds, I want to go, or yeah, this is a good relocation package, let's do it. That's another question. How good is the relocation package? Are they offering you relocation? Do you know people where you're going to go, or does the relocation package from the company offer you insight or a contact, even a realtor, in the place that you're being asked to relocate to, so you can have somebody give you guidance on the neighborhoods that you should pursue? I mean, in this situation, they're asking us to move back to a place we previously lived, so we have some sense on, what are the nicer neighborhoods, what are the more affluent neighborhoods, what are the neighborhoods that have higher crime rates. But would you know that if you're being asked to move? Do you have those insights? So you guys, we're grappling with these questions right now, and even though I feel pretty firm that we've come to a conclusion and we know what our decision is, I really felt like it's so important to pose these questions to any of you who might be facing this sort of situation yourselves, and help you at least start to frame up what are the things that you should be considering. And as I've mentioned in prior videos, I am a believer, so I think it is important also to pray about it. I do believe that, when you are a believer and you do pray, no matter what you choose to do, God can use that for your good. But I also believe that if you are in prayer communication with him, then he could help you make the best decision for this time of your life and to meet his will for your life. There you have it, guys. This is my recommendation on things to consider when you are getting ready to move. If any of you guys are dealing with this, I would love to hear what else you're considering, especially if you're dealing with it right now, because we are, and you might give me some insight that I could use to help us. Anyway, I hope you guys all have a wonderful day, and I will see you in the next video.